I bought a Foundations collector booster, and you can see that here, and also a eBay pack of rares and random cards, and I'm going to compare the two of them and see what you get more value out of for $30. To be clear, they were both $30 total. This USPS package here cost $30 to get. It was $10 off eBay and $20 of shipping. So I may have gotten ripped off on shipping because, well, I don't know what this costs to ship at this moment. Actually, it could be $20. Sense. That being said, the collector's booster here was $28 plus tax, so it comes out to be $31. So, to be fair, neither one was really worth $30. Let's dig into one of them right away, though. MTG would like it to be that, but let's go with the USPS box instead. Let's see what we have. How do I open this? Real question. I've never opened a box before. This is the first time for everything. It's taped, of course, so that's great. Now I have to get through the tier, which is obviously easier with a pair of scissors. So let's go ahead and cut. Oh, yeah, there we go. Getting into it. Cool. Now we're in. So you have this one. Cool. I'm gonna bubble wrap. Excuse me. We have a second one here. So bubble wrap. So we can analyze how well it is to fit these in a bubble wrap. Bubbly. Ooh. You like to hear the pop. Very good, very good. That alone was worth the $30. Right. I got some cards there. Could be a foil. Could be a foil. Look at that. They're kind of curving up. You know, the foils tend to like the curve. So good to see that there's probably at least one foil in there. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now, I think this includes tokens too, but I mean, to be fair, the collector's edition also includes tokens. And let me switch cameras from this one to the other camera so that we can take a look at the closer thing. Yeah, here we go. Ooh, nice and close. Okay. Ooh, look, a clue. A clue. Let me see if I can fix this up a little bit so you guys can see a little better. This is really close, as you can tell. Because the card stack is rather large, it's come out of focus. All right. So here we have a clue card. Let's see what we start off with. We start off with Rafine's Guidance, which is a 1 mana enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. You may cast Rafine's Guidance from your graveyard by paying 3 mana instead of its paying its mana cost. That's all right. Not bad. Pretty good common. I like the foil. Ooh, look at the foil. Very shiny. All right. Of course, I like shiny things. Who doesn't? We've got a clue second up. A very shiny clue, if you will. Pretty cool. Sacrifice artifact. Sacrifice this artifact. Draw a card. Hey, a Tanisha's Underdog. Always fun to see him. Now, this is the boxer art, of course. That's pretty cool. It has a blitz cost and pay 2 life. You may cast Tenacious Underdog from your graveyard using its blitz ability. Always fun to see them coming out of the graveyard again. Not if you're not if you're on the other side of that, of course. Cut your losses. 6 mana, sorcery, casualty 2. As you cast this spell, you may sacrifice a creature with power 2 or greater. If you do, when you do, copy this spell and you may choose new targets for this spell. Target player mills half their library, rounded down. Just goodbye, half your library. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's see what else we got. Celestial Regulator. This is a flying. When it enters the battlefield, choose target creature you don't control and tap it. If you control a creature with a counter on it, the chosen creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Pretty neat, pretty neat. I should probably some kind of organize these things as we go along. So I think that what I'll do is one of the things that I would recommend taking time to do right away for sorting cards is just to put them into different color piles. If that makes sense for what you have. So, you know, you have blues, you have your blues and whites, you have whites, you have blacks, and then just, kind of keep them organized as you go along. Now, I have a widescreen view here, but unfortunately, I have a hard time showing all of these to you at the same time with the narrow screen. And so I will do my best to keep these in piles, and I can show you the piles as we go along. But this is all recorded, so you guys can just rewind if you really need to go back and see anything interesting or not. All right. Excuse me, excuse me. I'm gonna start recording this so that we have this for reference as well. And then I'm going to go back to the close-up view. And just know that I'm keeping these a little bit more organized over here now that we're doing it. Okay, carrying on. Here's another card. Oh, hey, Giada, Font of Hope. Legendary creature. Giada, Font of Hope. 2 mana. Legendary creature, angel. Flying Vigilance. Each other angel you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each angel you already control. Add a planes and then spend this mana only to cast an angel spell. That is going directly into my new angel deck that I've been working on. And I've been needing more angels for, so that'll work well for it. Also, I'm going to go ahead and put Rafine's Guidance. We just talked about this one into that angel deck as well, because so far it's like mono white, or if it's going to become anything interesting, I might have dragons. But we'll see. All right, what do we have next? We have Champion of the Parish. 1 mana. Whenever a human enters the battlefield you control, put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of Parish. I stand for every cobbler, tanner, and fool in this town, and they stand for me. Yes, indeed they do, buddy. Yes, indeed they do. There's a Champion of Parish. We've got some pretty cool art, as you can see. Let me see if I can get this a little bit closer. Now that I've removed those cards, this is a little big of a pile, so you can get closer. All right. Champion of Parish. Don't want to perish. Don't want to not perish either. Wait, what? That makes no sense. All right. Champion of Parish, 1 mana. Pretty good. I will put that in the white pile. I actually don't know what to do with that. Look at this. Wait. I just noticed that this guy, the Celestial Regulator that we had just talked about, he's also an angel. And could be pretty good in a number of white-blue decks. I will put it in the angel deck just because maybe, but I doubt it. I think the cut your losses card that we already talked about. When you think about a player cutting their deck, this is like cutting their deck in half, right? So that's actually probably the illusion here of that card. That's pretty funny. Also, did anyone notice that there's a martini glass in this? Kind of funny. What interesting art, actually. There's like a skeleton being split in half as well. Crazy times we live in. All right. Let's see what we got. Shadow of Mortality. If your life total is less than your starting life total, this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the difference. Well, um, I think that this is an interesting card because let's say you're at 7 life of 20, then this becomes like a 2 mana cost thing. If that's actually like the lowest you can go though, so you can reduce this all the way down to two blacks basically, which is cool. Next, Civil Servant. All right, we have a cat citizen. Civil Servant, 2 mana, creature, cat citizen. Whenever citizen attacks, whenever civil servant attacks, you may tap another untapped citizen you control. If you do, civil servant gets +1/+0 and gains lifelink until end of turn. It requires another citizen, which is I don't have a citizens deck, but there's never not a good time to start putting together something. So we'll put this in the cat citizens area. White green. That's an interesting combo. I would like white greens. We got foil Pyre Sledge Arsonist. Pyre. um, Pretty looking. Pyre Sledge Arsonist, 3 mana. Creature Vyashino Shaman. The 1 mana and then tap, and then he deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of permanents you've sacrificed this turn. So let's say you're playing against Annihilate or something, or someone makes you sacrifice a bunch of permanents. Then you can tap. I'm sorry, sack all those, and then tap this guy, and you should be able to do damage. This does not say it's a sorcery speed, so it can be done at instant speed, which is nice. And by golly, I think the cool part about this card isn't necessarily the ability, but that art is just spectacular. This looks like Lord of the Rings mixed with dragons, you know? Dragons. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Goes in the red pile. Could become something. But let's see what we got. Next, Broken Wings. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. Ooh, popped a bubble. Broken Wings. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Oh, ooh, yeah. You know, being able to destroy an artifact or enchantment is very helpful in many games because so many people have enchantments or artifacts that are great, and I think that oftentimes there's just not enough removal of artifacts, enchantments, or creatures with flying. So, very cool card. Demonic Moth's Masters are quick to extinguish any hint of Angel's Power Reawakening. I think that there's a lot of like angel themed stuff, which is nice. I think that that would be definitely a cool way to go. This seems to be anti-angel in any case, though. Cool art. Um, Although, I mean, what is that? Light? Or are they being stabbed? This is weird. I don't know what that art is, but something. Next, Incandescent Aria. 3 mana. Incandescent Aria. 3 mana. Sorcery. Incandescent Aria deals 3 damage to non-token creature. Each non-token creature. Incandescent Aria. 3 mana. Sorcery. Incandescent Aria deals 3 damage to each non-token creature. I think that's pretty cool. 3 damage is like right on the verge of that breaking point where, you know, low level creatures on the battlefield. So this is a good clear, if anything, for white weenie, red goblins. You can get rid of a bunch of those. I think goblins tend to have a lot of tokens. And then once you start reaching into the angel territory of 4/4s, it's more necessary to swing through in the combat and then do some damage. Make sure that the angels that you're fighting are, damaged, and then you can do the 3 damage. So that should help you. Um, if anything, just make sure you do that in the right order, because otherwise they won't block and then they won't die. So get them on their make weaken the opponent first before making an attack. Rakish revelers. Rakish revelers? I think I've seen this before, and I always want to say rakish, but it might be rakish. Rakish revelers. 5 men. What is this art? What are they doing? They have like flowers? Little horns? They're like little demons with flowers. I guess that's kind of cool. All right, Rakish Revelers. Oof, I said that wrong. Rakish Revelers, 5 mana. Creature, elf, druid, rogue. When Revelers enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green-white citizen token. Hey, this goes well with the cat citizen already, so I like where this is going. Make a citizen's deck. 2 mana, exile from their hand, target land gains, tap, and add a mountain, forest, or plains until Rakish Revelers is cast from exile. Okay, you may cast Rakish Revelers for as long as it remains exiled. Okay, so this thing goes into the exile for 2, and then you can tap anything for the 3 mana there that's listed, which is nice. So if you need mana really quick, then you can use that the next turn. And then if you need to bring them back out, you can cast them again from exile. And I think that if you exile this in any other way, you can still cast it as long as it's exiled. 5/3, pretty good. Rakish Revelers, 5. Creature, elf, druid, rogue. When Rakish Revelers enter the battlefield, create a 1/1 green-white creature token. 2 mana, exile Rakish Revelers from your hand. Target land gains tap to add mountain or plains until Rakish Revelers is cast from exile, and then you can cast them from exile as long as they've been exiled. And they're 5/3. Dun dun dun. Chink. Let's put them with the citizen, just because. Girder goons. The girder goons. They're girding. What are they girding, though? I think they're going to gird themselves. Okay. Girder Goons, 5 mana. Creature Ogre Warrior. When Girder Goons dies, create a tapped 2/2 black rogue creature token. Blitz for 4. So get them on the battlefield, have them die, get a 2/2 black rogue creature, and then bring them back out from the. Cast a spell for its blitz cost, it gains haste. When this creature dies, draw a card, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Not bad, not bad. All right, I will be right back. I need a quick break. I will leave some of these cards here for you guys to appreciate. I have to run for a minute. Here's a new card. Ooh, why don't you guys take a look at that? Thank you for bearing with me for that. I was in need of a break. Okay. 3 mana, Broker's Charm. Okay. Broker's Charm. 3 mana, instant. Choose one. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Destroy target permanent. Draw 2 cards. That's pretty cool. I will say. Um, the Let me switch audio source. Test, test, test. Not picking it. Okay, well, we'll just keep going. Um, Sorry if the audio isn't the best, but the thing is that usually I use a different mic. I use a Rode mic. It's not being picked up by the computer right now, so I have to use the mic on the camera here. So hopefully it's not too big of a deal. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Let's see here. Broker's Charm. 3 mana, instant. Choose one. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Destroy target enchantment. Draw 2 cards. It's good in general. It has a lot of abilities, and you can, if you have something to bring it back from the graveyard, then you can use it again. Overall, not bad, not great. My determination. But it could go into a green, white, blue deck. Potentially. Make this round orange, cut your washers. Do. And draw. Cabal Initiate. Cable. Cabal Initiate. 2 mana. Creature, Human Warlock. Discard a card. Cabal Initiate gains lifelink until end of turn. Threshold. Cabal Initiate gets +1/+0. +1/+2 as long as 7 or more cards are in your graveyard. Hear our prayers, O Shadowed One, and bless us in our bloody agony. 2/1. I don't think that I would pray to a Shadowed One, but dear God, I pray you bless us not in bloody agony, maybe like in happy bliss. I feel like the people that are really dark are really dark sometimes, though. And I can be like that sometimes. I can have really dark days, and I've not yet done anything like this, but sometimes it feels like you can get to this point. Cabal Initiate. Anyway, it discard a card and then you gain lifelink. I have a hard time with the discarding of cards because I don't like to get rid of a card usually, and it's like, do I need that card? Lose focus. Ah, that's what we just did with that last card. 2 mana. Oh man, look at this guy go. Looks like he's wondering where his soup went. Where did my soup go? Lose focus. 2 mana. Instant. Replicate. Counter target spell unless the controller pays 2. It's like a word type thing, huh? When you cast a spell, you can copy it for each time you paid its replicate cost. And you choose for the copies. So, I wonder if you can counter the target spell again. I doubt it. I think you need to have new targets for the replicates. But this could be good in a stack situation where there's multiple counters going on, and people are like countering other people's stuff or adding things on top of it, and you can counter this. This could be good in the right commander situation. Prophetic Titan. 3 What is going on with this guy? He looks like he's having fun in the water. He's splashing around in the ocean like it's a big bath. Let's see. Uh, so the prophetic titan, 6 mana, creature, giant wizard. Delirium. When he enters the battlefield, choose one. If there are four or more types among cards in your graveyard, choose both instead. Prophetic Titan deals 4 damage to any target. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one of them on into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. 4/4. I um well, okay, hold on. Let's look at this from a game standpoint. So you have to get 4 card types into the graveyard. Delirium, I always find kind of interesting because it's like it works well later game, but early game it's really tough to say if it's going to work. And then when he enters the battlefield, he'll do 4 damage, or he'll do okay. So he'll do one or the other at first, but then he'll do both if you have 4 more cards. Look at the top 4 cards of your library and put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. Gives you a little draw, a little card speed. There you go. Could be good in a red blue deck. Maybe. Yeah. No. There you go. Not bad. I like his foiling. He's got a. He looks like he's enjoying the Cabo. Is that where that arch would be? This is Cabo on a cloudy day. Battle plan. Draw them battle plans. At the beginning of combat on your target, uh, at the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Basic land cycle 2. Yes, indeedy. I think the good part about an enchantment is this card will stay out for the rest until somebody destroys it. And this is like one of those that will like not be like a focal point of removal. So it's like, okay, so at the beginning of combat, you get a 2, it's not that big a deal. Mere Scrapling. 1 mana. Artifact creature mirror. Sacrifice Mirror Scrapling. Put +1/+1 counter on target creature. Not bad, not great. 1/1. It's a foil though. Doesn't like foils. Another colorless card. Boom! Most wanted. Flash. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+1. When enchanted creature dies, create 2 treasure tokens. This aura is nice. The art is great. I like that. And the actual effects are pretty good, I would say. You know, you get +2/+1, and then kind of makes one of your creatures a target. That creature dies, and you get 2 treasure tokens. So that's pretty good. I like it. That's a nice one. And it's got nice looking art. Buy or silence. Someone needs to quiet you down. Oof. That is what is on his mouth. My lordy. Doesn't look like he can breathe at all with that thing on. Oh, it's a mask. He's got COVID. Just kidding. Buy or silence. 5 mana. Sorcery. Exile target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a treasure token. Mm-hmm. Kind of expensive exile for that one. Arc Splitter. 1 mana. Whoa, look at that guy's little laser gun there. Laser flame. Flame. Lightning Flame Splitter is what I would say. Arc Spitter, 1 mana. Artifact enchantment. Equipped creature has 1. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature that's blocking it. Equip 1. I don't think that's limited. So if you have infinite mana, you can do infinite to that one creature, but you have to be blocked. Um, I think that could be good in situations. No. I think there's definitely potential for that one if you're playing the right thing. Hey, another angel. Paragon of Modernity, 4 mana. Artifact creature angel warrior, flying, 3 mana, and Paragon of Modernity gets +1/+1 until end of turn. If exactly 3 colors of mana were spent to activate this ability, put a +1/+1 counter on it instead. Hmm. I like that ability. That's a cool ability to have. The fact that this is a colorless artifact creature angel and a warrior, that hits like a bunch of different creature type and subtype keywords in general. So you can use this with an angel deck. You can certainly pair this into a warrior deck. Artifacts is also good. And the fact that you can pump it up a bit is nice. You do need a lot of mana to pump, but you can get it pretty high if you have infinite. I guess that's always the case, isn't it? I'm going to put this in the angel deck. We'll see what happens then. Next, Sewer Crocodile. Sewer Crocodile, 6 mana. Creature Crocodile, 4 mana. Sewer Crocodile can't be blocked this turn. This ability costs 3 less to activate if there are 5 or more mana values among cards in your graveyard. Quick, let's hide in the sewer. Jinsei the Thief, now deceased, 4/6. I think Jinsei got eaten by a sewer crocodile. That must have hurt. Halo Scarab. Halo Scarab. Artifact creature insect. 2 mana. 2 mana, exile Halo Scarab from your graveyard. Create a treasure token. 2/1. I am gonna say that the scarab is glowing very brightly. It could be a nice nightlight. Mm. Metropolis Angel. Hey, another angel. What do you know? White blue. Gonna have to make a white blue deck. Metropolis Angel. 4 mana. Creature, angel, soldier. Flying. Whenever you attack one or more creatures with counters on them, draw a card. 3/1. Elegant Entourage. 4 mana. Should I call it Entourage? Entourage. Elegant Entourage. I like this art too. I say that way too often. I like a lot of the art, I guess. I think that Magic has the best art in any game, easily. Elegant Entourage. 4 mana. Creature, Elf Druid. Alliance. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, target creature other than Elegant Entourage gets +1/+1 and has trample until end of turn. Terribly sorry, but this isn't a private party, and your name isn't on the list. 4/4. I am going to say that this would go great in an elf deck, which we need to put together. So let's put that in the elf deck pile. Light them up, light them up. Light them up. 2 mana. Sorcery. Casualty 2. Light 'em up deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. I am very excited to do 2 damage to something. Refuse to yield. Target creature gets +2/+7 until end of turn. Untap it. This is a really good combat trick, if anything. +2/+7 until end of turn, and you can untap it. This is a great card. This is going somewhere. Save that one for the angel deck. Power. All right, here we go. The Disciplined Duelist. What is this? This is like some crazy art. I like art when it was created by humans. I feel like now AI is just copying all this stuff, and it's like, well, you didn't get the hands right even, but at least humans can draw hands that look human after they practice for a while. I hear it's one of the hardest things to do. All right, here we go. So another citizen for our citizen deck. Disciplined Duelist, 3 mana, creature, human, citizen, double strike. Disciplined Duelist enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it, 2/1. The shield counter will protect your creature for 1 turn, and then it gains double strike, and then everyone dies, of course. So, hey, another cool art. Look at that one. Whoa. Augrist, the Dragon's Lash, 4 mana, legendary creature Vyashanu Warrior. Vyashinu Warrior. Haste. Whenever a creature you control with haste attacks, creature a tapped treasure token. I read that wrong. 3/1. 3/3. Oh, I read all that wrong. Agnes, the Dragon's Latch. 4 mana. Legendary creature Vyashino Warrior. Haste. Whenever a creature you control with haste attacks, create a tapped treasure token. I would say red, green, black. See, we've got red, green, black in here. That's like a very interesting deck to put together, and I can think of some cards that would go in there well. And we should try to put that together at some point, and then make sure that it has everything that has haste. And then you can create a bunch of tapped treasure tokens, and then the next turn, boom, all them treasure tokens blow up. Multicolored commander deck coming in soon. Exotic pets. What do we have here? It's a little Finding Nemo action. 3 mana. Create 2 1/1 bluefish creature tokens with this creature can't be blocked. Then for each kind of counter among creatures you control, put a token of that kind on either of those tokens. This is kind of one of those cards where it feels like it would go really well in a ninjutsu deck, because then you can take those bluefish creature tokens and turn them into ninjas. And then for each kind of creep counter among those, you can put stuff on, which is fine. I mean, I think the first ability is the one that you're looking for. The 2/1/1 bluefish tokens that can't be blocked. That's nice. Anytime you have can't be blocked, it's like, what can we do with that that makes it interesting? Blue white. A huge amount of blue white here, but we're working on it. Next. Ooh, foil plains. Okay, what we got next? Ooh, foil island. Yep, foil swamp. Oh, I thought it was gonna be another foil. Ah, Rafine's Tower. Rafine's Tower. Rafine's Tower. Land. Plains, island, swamp. Add a plains, island, or swamp. Rafine's Tower enters the battlefield tap. Cycling 3. 3 and then cycle, discard this card, draw a card. I like the options this gives you, plus the fact that white, blue, black can be very powerful if we play that with the right deck. So let's try to put together a deck that works around that. I'm going to put all these lands together with it too, because these are all the same color lands. So we have a little theme going on. White, blue, black over there. Pile. Next, the All-Seeing Arbiter. Hey, a mythic. There we go. He doesn't like the color orange. All-Seeing Arbiter. 6 mana. Creature avatar. Flying. Whenever All-Seeing Arbiter enters the battlefield or attacks, draw 2 cards and discard a card. Whenever you discard a card, target creature an opponent controls gets -X, -0 until your next turn, where X is the number of different mana values among cards in your graveyard. 5, 4. I am sure that'll go great into some kind of draw discard deck, which we have some cards of. Hey, Vivian of the Hunt, another mythic. What is that? Legendary Planeswalker. Vivian on the Hunt. 6 mana. Legendary Planeswalker Vivian. Hmm. Planeswalkers, are they usually the type Vivian? Or, I mean, not type Vivian. Are they usually the type of their name? I mean, a comparison here. Vivian on the hunt. 6 mana. Legendary Planeswalker Vivian. +2. You may sacrifice a creature. If you do, search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice creature's mana value. Put it on the battlefield and then shuffle. That's nice. +1. Mill 5 cards and then put any number of creature cards milled this way into your hand. That's pretty good too. -1. Create a 4/4 green rhino warrior creature token. 4. So this would go well into a warrior deck as well. It goes into a sack deck pretty well because you can use this to sack creature return. And then, of course, being able to search for a creature card in your deck is nice. And it seems like you could ramp that up a bit every single turn. You can always be getting larger and larger mana creatures as long as you're willing to sacrifice your previous creatures. That is cool. I like it. I like it. Flip. Ah, foil mountain. Flip. And a pretty art forest. I don't think that this is a forest, so they were very confused when they drew this art. This looks more like a metropolis. So I'm going to say no, more like city forest, not just basic forest. Come on, people. Boom. What do we got here? Riveter's Ascendancy, 3 mana. Oh, I love this art. They're all working up on the thing. I gotta say, those guys have a lot of cojones because being up top there like that must be really terrifying. Riveter's Ascendancy, 3 mana, enchantment. Whenever you sacrifice a creature, you may return target creature card with lesser mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Only do this once each turn. Okay, so if I sacrifice, say, some creature, let's say this guy. Lesser mana value would be 1. So let's say we sacrifice the Girder Goons. You know what this would go well in is if you have a lot of XX cards or just X cards, and instead of like, but if you don't pay lesser mana value, instead of 0 mana value, I don't know about this card. How often are you going to want to sacrifice a creature of greater mana value for a creature of lesser mana? I guess sometimes. Like if you have like a all-seeing arbiter, right? And you sacrifice it and you get out something that lets you get something from the graveyard, then you can get the all-seeing arbiter again out of the graveyard. That could be good. Otherwise, I don't know. Unusual. This would be an unusual situation card. How often do you plan for that? I guess it's good to plan for those kinds of things. I think that sometimes I'll have a card and I'll just be like, I just want to see this played. Hey, another Metropolis land. Okay, cool, cool. All right, we got some art, card art here. He looks like he's having a good time with his magic. We have an undercover operative. Undercover operative. That nice shapeshifting rogue. Be anything wants to be. Undercover Operative, 4 mana, creature shapeshifting rogue. You may have Undercover Operative enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it enters with a shield counter on it if you control that creature. It starts off at 0/0, but it comes in copying whenever it is copying, and it takes their toughness and power. I think that this is an interesting card. Depends on the situation. Always fun to copy something, but you want to be smart and clever when you copy something, but it's hard to do. Backup Agent, 2 mana, creature human citizen. Hey, another citizen card. When Backup Agent enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Always good to be putting them +1/+1 counters. Depends on your counter deck. Put this in the white area over there. Maestro's Ascendancy. Maestro's Ascendancy. 3 mana. Enchantment. Once during each of your turns, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your graveyard by sacrificing a creature in addition to paying its other costs. If a spell is cast this way and when put in the graveyard, you exile it instead. Instant sorcery, graveyard, sacrificing a creature. In addition to paying its other costs, you don't get it for free out of the graveyard. Spellcast this wave would be put in the graveyard, exile instead. This is kind of one of those cards where I would not be sure when I would be playing this. Unless I have a lot of tokens. If I have a lot of tokens and I have a lot of creatures, then you can sack one of those tokens and then pay the cost. So, I mean, maybe you get the token for free, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, not bad, not great. Kind of interesting. I like a lot of these multicolor ones. It's kind of interesting to see them coming out like these red, green, blacks, these red, green, blues. I think that they're kind of harder to play because you have to have like a special like situation or deck that you're playing them in. And also you have to like kind of I think you want to stick to 2 colors and then kind of like just add a few splash colors in there. So it's not like having 3 colors all in total. It could be tougher to deal with in terms of deck construction. Backstreet Bruiser, 2 mana. Creature, Cephalid Rogue, Defender. As long as there are 2 or more counters among creatures you control, Backstreet Bruiser can attack as though it didn't have Defender. Well, I'll show you what's in the case, but it'd be the last thing you'd ever see. 3/3. In case there's a case. Shakedown Heavy. Ooh, he's getting shaken down. Shakedown Heavy. 3 mana. Creature, Ogre, Warrior. Menace. Whenever Shakedown Heavy attacks, defending player may have you draw a card. If they do, untap Shakedown Heavy and remove it from combat. Look, we get what you... Look, we both get what we want. I get your Halo, you get to keep your kneecaps. 3, 6, 4. 6, 4. What a fun time. There we go. We have a legendary planeswalker for the white, blue, black deck that we're going to put together. Dakon, there's a Dakon. Dakon, Shadow Slayer, 3 mana. Legendary planeswalker Dakon. I guess the Dakon is a type. Dakon, Shadow Slayer, 3 mana. Legendary planeswalker Dakon. Dakon Shadow Slayer enters the battlefield with a number of loyalty counters on him equal to the number of lands you control. +1, Surveil 2, -3, exile target creature, -6. You may put an artifact card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield. Comes in with 0. Actually, I take that back. He comes in with the number of lands that you control, which will be at a minimum 3 because you need 3 to cast him. Unless you have some kind of like thing that you popped. I can not a soul ring. Like a bird of paradise or something. Okay, so we have a except you probably wouldn't be playing bird of paradise in a white, blue, black deck. Surveil +2. Exile target creature for -3 is great. So let's say you have like 6 lands, comes in, immediately exile that target creature. And then for also 6, you can put an artifact from your hand on or graveyard onto the battlefield. That's That's a pretty good -6. Especially if you have a creature heavy artifact deck that's now you have something in the graveyard in the battlefield. That'd be good in a lot of situations, especially after like a board wipe or something. I will put that with the other white, blue, black stuff. That can make a potentially interesting deck. We also have that land. Remember, we have the white, blue, black land that this goes with. So whatever we're putting together here could be interesting. Keep that going. Next, Sanctifier on Vec. 2 mana. Creature. Human Cleric. Protection from black and red. Whenever Sanctifier on Vec enters the battlefield, exile all cards that are black or red from all graveyards. If a black or red permanent spell or card not on the battlefield will be put into the graveyard, exile it instead. 2/2. I say interesting. I like the art too. Next, Bone Shards. Oof. Don't want to get them bone shards in your Cocoa Puffs. Bone Shards. 1 skull. Sorcery. As an additional cast, to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature or discard a card. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. For 1 mana, yes, this goes great in a lot of decks, and especially if you have a sack outlet that you can just bring back something. Yes, yes, yes. And the fact that it gives you a free discard, so you can put something into the graveyard that would help you. This is very playable. Very, very playable. Bone Shards, 1 mana, sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature or discard a card. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Excellent. That's like S tier right there. Let's see what we got. Duskshell Crawler. Duskshell Crawler, 2 mana. Creature insect. When Duskshell Crawler enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. Oh man, this goes right into a counter deck. 0/3. They often perch on street lamps, causing the poles to buckle under their weight. Oh, that's creepy. Look at that. It's like a giant beetle on top of a light post in London. Can you imagine walking down a street in London and going, oh my golly, a duckshell crawler. I better run. And then it like jumps on you. Whoa. Anyway, this goes great into a counter deck, and yeah, you just gotta put counters on things and they get trampled. That's great. Always good thing. How fun. A Tavern Scoundrel. Creature human rogue. Whenever you win a coin flip, create 2 treasure tokens. That's kind of funny. 2 mana. Did I say that one? Tavern Scoundrel, 2 mana. Creature human rogue. Whenever you win a coin flip, create 2 treasure tokens. 1 mana and tap. Sacrifice another permanent. Flip a coin. Sacrifice another permanent. That's pretty good. Does this mean you can just like flip away and win against yourself, or do you have to actually play someone? Like, there's no challenge here. It's just like you're flipping against yourself, and either you get it or you don't get it right. No refunds. I treated you fair and square. I think this means you can keep on flipping. So let's say you're flipping already, and then you're like, okay, let me just flip again. Right? Oh, I need to read up on the rules of this one. I haven't seen that card before. It's kind of fun. Next up, Extraction Specialist. 3 mana. Creature human rogue. Lifelink. When Extraction Specialist enters the battlefield, return target creature with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature can't attack or block for as long as you control Extraction Specialist. 3/2. You almost want to use extraction specialist to pull out another card from your graveyard that don't really need their ability for. Also, 3/2 lifelink is good. Lifelink on anything is great, so you can always gain more life. So that's actually pretty solid. Whispering Thieving. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Widespread Thieving. 3 mana. Hideaway 5. Enchantment. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a treasure token, then you may pay all the colors. If you do, you may play the exile card without paying its mana cost. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell. So there's a lot of multicolored in this stuff, so that's pretty good. You can then pay 5. You'd have to have 5 to go. Okay, if you do, you pay the exile card. This could be good in like an Atraxia deck or something. Hideaway is actually a really cool ability in general. Yeah, I think it's good. I never got another swamp. Karth the Lion. Karth the Lion, 4 mana, legendary creature, human warrior. Whenever Karth the Lion enters the battlefield or a planeswalker you control dies, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may reveal a planeswalker card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Planeswalker abilities you activate costs an additional +1 to activate. That's good, right? Because when you activate something, it gives you tokens. So that's like doubling the amount of tokens you get from a +1. So like, let's see, we have Vivian on the Hunt here. Then you have the +1 ability to activate. This becomes a +3. This one becomes a +2. And this one just becomes a 0. So you get a bunch of free tokens for Vivian on the Hunt, right? So I like it, and I think that the green black stuff needs to go together somewhere. And needs bone shards with it. Got a mountain, foiled mountain. And the very last thing, a very expensive Sphinx. Aethersworn Sphinx. Aethersworn Sphinx. 9 mana, artifact creature Sphinx. Affinity for artifacts. That means the artifacts help you cast them. If you have like 4 artifacts out, you can reduce this by 4. Flying Cascade. Intent. Most Esper Sphinxes have minimal filigree enhancement, but this Sphinx has been extensively enhanced. 4/4. Cascade means that if you cast this, then you get to free cast the next colorless something or other creature that you pull up. So that's pretty good. I think it's the next creature that's cheaper than this card in terms of mana that comes up. Okay, so we've gone through all of these. There were some fun ones for sure. I thought that this one was fun. I thought that these were fun. I thought Bone Shards was a great pull. And then there was a bunch of angels. And then there was this incandescent Aria that was fun. There was this dragon. He says it's a dragon, but it's a dragon's lash. That was okay. Overall, not bad, not great, I don't think by any means, but a lot of multicolored things. I feel like the multicolored things. Let's see. Here's a bunch of multicolors that we got. A bunch of citizen stuff, kind of interesting. Double strike citizen, and then we got all these prophetic titans and other stuff. Interesting haul, kind of different. You know, this was not like predictable as to what this was. Very, very random deck ultimately. So, how does that to our Foundations Collector Booster? Should probably zoom out for a better shot here. Oopsies. Oh, everything went flying. Let's see. Let's see if I can get a. Okay, so we have our collector's booster here. Actually fits better this way. And then it says here 15 cards, so that'll be less cards than we just went through. And this was $31 from well, I actually saw only one there. I don't know if I would shop at Barnes and Noble per se, but hey, you know what? I don't know about buying them off of Amazon. Probably prefer not to buy Magic collector's boosters off of Amazon just in case of the fact that they could be fake. And then I wouldn't buy them off of Walmart either. But Barnes and Noble, this is real. You have the foiled deal there. Last cards for playing display. It says, 15 foils and pack full of rips and boosters. So let's go for it. Let's see what happens. Punch through this seal here. Immediately. Ow! Oh man. I'm working out well with the scissors. Magician needs to work on his opening the box. All right. So we have broken the seal here. We'll now open this. Nope. What do I do? Ah. Okay. Yes. See if I have the correct piece. Oh. Look at this. All this box, and this is what you get for all that box. Thank you for not wasting or destroying our environment. Just kidding. Whatever. This world's not wanting to be anyway, right? Am I right? All right, we got our Masters Collector booster here. Let's switch to the closer camera. Okay. Got a little stickiness on the back here. I will say the box is cooler to open, and it's probably harder to steal. I think that I've noticed that a lot of stores used to have Magic cards, and now they're like, we don't carry those. And I think that that's because of how easy it is to steal them cards, to be honest. Okay, here we go. Unsealing the collector's booster and seeing whether or not it is better than our other thing. Now, the other thing had a few multicolors that were interesting. It had a multicolored land ravine that was really fantastic. And in this case, we are probably looking at whatever Foundations has. So Foundations is a pretty cool set. We shall see what comes out of this, huh? And they both cost right around $30. So comparison is 30 versus 30. Hello, Elf Warrior token. Foil, very shiny. Who doesn't like shiny things? Okay. Anthem Champions. Enchantment. Creatures you control get +1. Our way home may have no walls, but it is far from undefended. I love the art. I love the colors. Green, white. We got something for our green, white deck going on now. What? Another one? Okay, well, there's two of the Anthem of Champions there. One Anthem of Champions, two Anthem of Champions. Creatures you control get +1/+1 as well. Crystal Barricade. 2 mana. Artifact creature wall. Defender. You have hexproof. Prevent all non-combat creature. Prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control. Huh. You have hexproof. That's nice. Crystal Barricade. Artifact creature wall. Defender. You have hexproof. Prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control. So not combat damage. But fantastic against a direct damage deck. Ikora's crystals. Ikora's crystals grow in the presence of monsters, making them valuable as both defensive fortifications and warning beacons. 0/4. That's neat. Homunculus Horde, 4 mana. Creature Homunculus. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a token that's a copy of this creature. 2/2. Great in a draw deck. Galta Primal Hunger. Alright then. This one costs, let's see, Galta Primal Hunger, 12 mana. Legendary creature Elder Dinosaur. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control. Trample. This creature can deal excess. Yes, we know. The Earth Walk, strongest of all. 12/12. Excellent. Excellent. So you have a couple of 6/6s out, and then this thing costs two 2/4s. And you get it out there. That's I think this is one of the cooler cards and foundations that I know of. Plus, you know, you get a fun dinosaur to play. So Elder Dinosaur, yes, yes, yes. Could go in a green-white deck. We have a very pretty land here. Looks like in a city as well. Island, foiled island. Oh, and a braid. Hello. A braid. 2 mana. Instant. Choose one. A braid deals 3 damage to target creature. Destroy target artifact. Pretty solid. Adventuring Gear. Whenever a land you control enters, equipped creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Equip 1. Pretty good. Bolt Wave. Excellent in... Oops. Bolt Wave. Excellent in... Two-Headed Giant. Bolt Wave. 1 mana. Sorcery. Bolt Wave deals 3 damage to each opponent. Because there's 2 opponents. And so you do 3 damage to both of them, which is 6 total. But that's like a lot more damage against one team than it would be against just one opponent. The Arbiter of Woe. Whoops. Woe indeed. Oopsies. Sorry about that. Arbiter of Woe. Creature Demon. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Flying. When this creature enters, each opponent discards a card, loses 2 life. You draw a card and gain 2 life. Thrill of Possibility. 2 mana, instant. As an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card. Draw 2 cards. Eaten Alive. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature or pay 4 mana. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Good. Actually, very similar to that other card we got. Ambush Wolf. Creature Wolf, 3 mana. Flash. You may cast a spell anytime you could cast an instant. When this creature enters, exile up to 1 target creature from the graveyard. 4/2. Stab. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Healer's Hawk. Flying Lifelink. 1/1. Healer's Hawk is one of those cards that's pretty common that you're just playing draft and then you really don't really play it. Regular situation. So we have the Crystal Barricade. We have the Galta Primal Hunger. We have the Anthem of Champions. And then we have a second Anthem of Champions, both with different art. Which one was better? Well, I'll leave that up to you since you guys watched this whole video, and why don't you guys let me know which one you thought was better in the comments. Crystal Barricade. That's a cool card. I like that. Galta is also a pretty cool card. These two can play together probably. Actually, all 3 of these. Maybe we can make like a white, green, deck from what we've gotten here. White, green, black, maybe. White, green, blue. Both could be cool. Something could work out. Anyway, I'm gonna post these cards later, and hopefully this has been fun for everyone. I certainly had a good time going through them, and it was interesting to see the comparison between the two. I think that overall, this one might have come out with slightly more value, except for that one land was really solid. But yeah, this was fun. I hope you guys had a good time. Thank you for listening.